Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peterisms, where I tell stories of my life and just little things I've learned as I have grown into the person that I am today. And I'm going to do a meditation today, and I actually think the meditation that I found for today, which is surprisingly enough in Melody Beattie's The Language of Letting Go by Melody Beattie, is fantastic. And it's something that I have struggled with at periods of my life. And I have something that she doesn't talk about in here necessarily, but that has worked for me, that people have, a little tool that people have given me and that I talk a lot about on this channel and especially also in my vlog. I do want to say before I go forward that I have a Amazon page now or whatever, and so I will link it below, and every book that I talk about on here will just be linked on there. So if you guys want to go find one, you can go look it up there. You don't have to purchase it from there. If you do, I make a small compensation, but if you don't have to. You can go to Barnes & Noble. You can go to the charity shop. You can order it on Thrift Books. You can do whatever you want. But I just want all the books over there so that you guys know where they're at from now on. I have a whole book list, and it has all the Melody Beattie books that I've talked about on here. It has the Linda Picone book, and I'm going to just add some of the other meditation books on there that I've read or discussed on here as well. So from now on, you can just go there and you can find all the books that I talk about. And anytime I show a new book, I will put it on there as well. Today, November 16th, The Victim Trap. When I saw this title, I was like, this is going to be good. The belief that life has to be hard and difficult is the belief that makes a martyr. We can change our negative beliefs about life and whether we have the power to stop our pain and take care of ourselves. We aren't... Bradley, he said, I don't know that I agree with that, Dad. He says, I want to be up there with you. You do? Oh, look at this little baby. Do you want to say hi to the people? Can I get back to my meditation now? He says, okay. So, Boo and Tucker are Papateases. They're half Papillons, half Maltese. And Papateases supposedly speak a lot. And so they make those little noises. They'll go, stuff like, it's real cute. Anyway. Okay. I'm going to start over. Excuse me. The belief that life has to be hard and difficult is the belief that makes a martyr. We can change our negative beliefs about life and whether we have the power to stop our pain and take care of ourselves. We aren't helpless. We can solve our problems. We do have power, not to change or control others, but to solve the problems that are ours to solve. Using each problem that comes our way to prove that life is hard and we are helpless. This is codependency. It's the victim trap. Life does not have to be difficult. In fact, it can be smooth. Life is good. We don't have to awfulize it or ourselves. We don't have to live on the underside. I love that. We do have power, more power than we know, even in the difficult times. And the difficult times don't prove life is bad. They are part of the ups and downs of life. Often, they work out for the best. We can change our attitude. We can change ourselves sometimes. We can change our circumstances. Life is challenging. Sometimes there's more pain than we asked for. Sometimes there's more joy than we imagined. It's all part of the package, and the package is good. We are not victims of life. We can learn to remove ourselves as victims of life. By letting go of our belief that life has to be hard and difficult, we make our life much easier. Thank God, help me let go of my belief that life is so hard, so awful, or so difficult. Help me replace that belief with a healthier, more realistic view. Do you remember the poster back in school, way back in the day, like in high school, and it would say that life was something like 10% of what happened to us and 90% attitude? I believe that to be true on so many levels. On those days that I'm feeling really down, or I'm feeling like a victim, or I feel like, you know, the whole world is crashing down on me, or how am I going to possibly move on and whatever, that is attitude. That's my attitude. That's my outlook. That's my reaction to things. That's not my thought out response. That's not my inventory of what my life really looks like overall. That's my reaction to it. And even if we are going through the worst time of our entire lives, you know, that, you know, we have medical problems and relationship problems and this and money and all this kind of stuff, I think at that point, it's important to find even the small things that we can be grateful for, the things that will get us through those days. Because if you think about this, okay, that on a day that like life is horrible, it makes it 10 times horrible to say life is horrible, right? Because it is a reminder. you know, an out loud reminder of that. And so it is a lot about our reaction to what the world is like. Instead of getting up, and this is a lot of why I do, you know, the affirmations in the morning, that today life is going to be good and all this kind of stuff. And, you know, it was interesting. I talk a lot about affirmations on here. And I was at my home group meeting. So a home group meeting in recovery is a 12-step meeting that you make a commitment to go to on a regular basis. And mine's on Tuesday nights. And if you watch my vlog, Tanya and I go every Tuesday night, my best friend Tanya. And so anyway, this guy that I've known since I got sober, and I think he has 45 years sober, he's amazing. I had a little bit of a breakdown in the meeting. I started crying, and I was just talking about, like, you know, that this is going on, and this is going on, and whatever. And he came up to me afterwards of the meeting, and he gave me a big hug, and he looked at me, and he said, I want you to start looking at yourself in the mirror. Now, listen to this, okay? I mean, this is what I say to other people, and then he's saying it to me, right? He goes, I want you to get up tomorrow morning, and I want you to start looking at yourself in the mirror every morning that you get up. And I want you to look at yourself and say, I love you. You're worthy. And you know, like, do you hear the shakiness in my voice? Like, that's so hard, isn't it? Sometimes for us to say to ourselves. Because I think that often we look at all of the negative things that are happening to us instead of just looking at all of the positives that are there. And for me, I have so much positive, right? And then he looked at me and he goes, and now you need to go home and you need to make a gratitude list. Because, see, that's where it all starts. It all starts and ends with gratitude for me. That I have to look at my life through the eyes of gratitude, you know? And like I said, in the month of November, like, I want to talk a lot about gratitude on here because it's, you know, Thanksgiving and things like that. And it's just, you know, I think it's really, really important to look at life through a point of gratitude. I love in here when she says, using each problem that comes our way to prove that life is hard and we are helpless. This is codependency. It's the victim trap. And so what that says is that when stuff happens to us in the world, we use it as an excuse to look at the world, at everybody in the universe and say, see, I told you life was shit, right? Instead of looking at the world and saying, see, shit happens, you know? But like, we've all had those moments. I have had those moments where I feel like the whole world is collapsing in on me. You know what I mean? No, it's the way the world works. And you know, I'm sitting here and like, I'm looking, Boo and Tucker are sitting right here next to me, and they always just sit on the ottoman when, especially Tucker, he sits like this. And you know, one of the greatest things that I am so grateful for in my life are my dogs, you know, Pee-Pee, Boo, and Tucker. And I come home and they run around outside and they take naps with me, and, you know, they need me to feed them, and they're so happy to see me and things like that. And, you know, little animals, I think, like that in our lives just really make our lives so much better. And I'm so grateful for my dogs, you know, and that also makes me realize the simplicity of life when I look at it, that simple thing makes me so happy, right? So happy. I mean, if you watch my vlog, you know, like my dogs are my life. And if that one thing makes me so happy, then it breaks it all down. And then it also puts in, you know, the response to the world. Like, I was looking at Pee-Pee the other day. This is kind of silly, but I was looking at my dog Pee-Pee the other day, and I was thinking to myself, like, dogs don't care if you're heavy or if you're thin. Dogs don't care about any of that kind of stuff. Dogs just care if you love them or not, you know? And I think that's great. And I think that's great. What a profound statement. You know, but I think that it's in looking at life through the eyes of gratitude. It's in looking at the things that we have, that we appreciate, not playing into this martyrdom or this victim of like, if you had my life, there's no way you could go on. And, you know, and that's very much an addict drinking thinking too. Like, I was saying this on my vlog the other day, that back in the day, you know, my attitude towards using was, if you had my life, you would use too. Well, a lot of people had 10 times worse lives than I ever could have imagined, and they were not using drugs and alcohol. They weren't complaining about their lives. And one of the things that I think that there are true angels walking on this earth is, have you ever met somebody that works like 3 jobs, you know, has like a single parent that has 3 jobs, you know, 3 kids, 4 kids, comes home, feeds them, does their homework, gets them in bed, gets up the next morning for work, smile on their face, never complains, does their thing, and are just happy and joyous about life? Have you ever met somebody like that? I know many people like that, and they never once complain. So how dare I complain about my life when it could be 100 times worse? And that's somebody that has a pretty good life too, you know? And there are other people out there that have no food, they have no this, they have no that, they have no medical treatment, they have no place to live, they have no place to sleep. You know, it's, 20 degrees outside in Indianapolis. There are people all over our streets that have no place to sleep. So for me, I have to ask myself, what does my life look like in response to all of that? And do I have any right to ever play the victim? No, I don't. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.